Hello everybody, I am Thrasher02. As you may or may not know, I am a writer of sorts, and I would like to share one of my works with you today. It is called DarkHart. It's a true story that actually happened to me. It's 100% true, trust me, although a few of the names have been switched around to protect the innocent. Not just me, you know who I am. But there are other characters, and they have been protected. It's somewhat of a love story. Okay, good, you're still with me. But later it gets more actiony. There is a good fight scene. Yeah, fight scene. That hurt. But don't worry. It will get better later on. So just bear through all the romance crap, and we'll get to the good part around chapter 3. Or 4. 4 is where it really picks up. So, without further ado, DarkHart, chapter 1, Infatuation. It's beautiful. Not as beautiful as you, Serenity, I said, staring at her dark brown eyes that always reminded me of decadent chocolate. That's a lie. I'm not pretty at all. I'm just short and fat. Well, you aren't very tall, that's true, but I wouldn't want to be dating some Amazon warrior anyway. She smiled a little bit. And you're a little plump, but some guys wouldn't want it any other way, and I am one of them. Oh, Damitri, I love you, she said, wrapping her arms around me. I ran my fingers through her silky black hair as we held each other. The sun is almost set. Wait, the sun is almost set. I need to get home, Serenity said as she let go of me. Yeah, if you're 4 seconds late, your mother will ground you for life, I joked. She's not that strict, Damitri. Do you really want to wait and find out? She glanced at the setting sun and stood up. I stood as well, and we walked up the hill to her house holding hands. Before her house was in sight, we kissed and parted ways. I pulled on my cell phone and began to text message her. We spent as much time together as possible between classes, on the bus, walking to and from the bus stop, and our houses. In between our houses, there was a small lake that we went to every day. We had to schedule it just so we could see the sunset, because Serenity's mother only allowed her to be with me for half an hour at a time. Considering it took a good chunk of time to walk to and from the lake, there wasn't much time to stay there. Regardless, we had some of the best memories on that shore, like our first kiss. Still, her mother was somewhat of a problem. Once Serenity failed a test and her mother grounded her from going to the lake for a month. She ruined my 17th birthday by keeping Serenity home for no reason that was clear to me. She almost forced her to dye her hair, but it looked like I put enough rebellion into her that she would refuse. Good thing, too. I like her black hair. Still, the pros outweigh the cons. In a few years we'll be able to get an apartment together, and her mother will have minimal interference. I arrived at home to my mother struggling to put a box on top of the shelf. Help me, Damitri, she shouted. She shouted, supporting the box up. I was significantly taller and stronger than her, so it was normal for me to be lifting things up to reaching high places for her. I knew if I prayed, Jesus would send me somebody to help. Well, I have come to assist thy shelf troubles. Now allow me to park my ass in my room, I said, trying to sound biblical. Get out of here, you brat, she said with a smile, and I walked to my room. She was a hardcore Christian, but I could never get behind any of that religious mumbo-jumbo. She still was a good person from it and raised me right, so God bless her. I spent the rest of the day watching television and talking with Serenity over text message. It allowed for easy multitasking. We sent messages back and forth until we both fell asleep. I woke up, got dressed, and walked to her house before she had even a chance to leave. I rang the doorbell and waited a few seconds before the door opened. Damitri, how are you? Did you want some breakfast? Said Serenity's mother. She was medium height and plump with short hair. She looked like an older version of Serenity by appearance, but From what I've heard from Serenity's stories, I can tell it's all an act. I already ate. Is Serenity ready? I asked, trying to avoid further interaction. I'm ready. Let's go, Serenity said, walking out of her house. Goodbye, Mrs. Nye. It's been a pleasure talking to you, I lied as we walked away. My dream is to become a poet because I was naturally good with words. This helped me flawlessly lie or persuade my way out of any situation, most of them involving Serenity's mother. We seem to be far enough away now, Serenity said. I snapped out of my thought process. She turned to me and we kissed. Part of a balanced breakfast, I said, trying to sound suave as possible. She giggled. I love your cheesy jokes. And I love everything about you, I said, holding her closely. I want to stay like this forever, she said in a soft voice as I held her tighter. I'll never let you go. We stayed holding each other for a few minutes before Serenity shouted, Let me go, the bus is coming. My trance broke and I swept my arms under her legs and lifted her up. I darted to the bus at top speed while carrying Serenity and her pack. She chanted, Put me down, in a small voice while clutching me so tight that if I did drop her, dread the thought, she would bring me down with her. I made it to the bus panting heavily. Well, if it isn't the happy couple, said the bus driver as she opened the door and let Serenity down on the bus. We walked to our seats and I looked around, but the bus was loud and rowdy. The people on it were delinquents. They would always be talking about violence, drugs, or sex, and if not talking about them, they would be doing them. They would always be picking fights and causing objects to fly across the bus. A lot of the time, people had the smell of tobacco or weed on their clothes. I can't stand either. Nearly everybody that was sitting boy-girl, and some that weren't, were almost violently kissing. It looked like two rabid animals trying to devour the other one's head, caught in a stalemate. It's disgusting. Serenity and I never kissed in public because she said people don't want to see that. I understand how that mattered when we were the only couple on the bus not kissing, but the horrible nature of the bus was all worth it as long as I have Serenity at my side. We approached our usual seat, Black 8. It was occupied by one person gazing out the window. I searched and saw no other suitable seat, so I sat in the seat while Serenity sat in the opposite seat, Red 8. So, are you prepared for third block? She asked. She asked me. We have a free period in second, so I'm going to study then, so it's fresh in my mind. I've been studying for the past few weeks. Yeah, I shudder to think what your mom would do to you if you were not to get a perfect score. She might even cut off my penis so we can never make love. I think she may already be conspiring to do that. She buried her face in her hands. Oh, you are so gross. And besides, we won't do that for at least 6 more years. I don't like the idea of waiting that long, but I was sure that I could successfully seduce her with the right setting and a good poem. That's fine. I'm willing to wait if it's you, and I'm waiting for you that. And if it's you, I'm waiting for. Damn it! You can see my terrible reading skills. That's fine. I'm willing to wait if it's you. I'm waiting for you, and you are everything to me. There we go. You are my darkness. You are my light. You are the princess for whom I shall fight. You are my goddess. You are my muse. You are the thing I would hate most to lose. Oh, Damitri, I love you, she said as we held hands until the bus stopped. We got off and checked our backpacks to make sure nothing was stolen from us. Good morning, Serenity. Damitri. Oh, hello. Oh, hello, Adam, Serenity said with her usual smile. Adam, I said, looking at him with a blank stare. Adam Gunner. He was tall and skinny like I was, but he was scrawny. Well, at least I had some traces of muscles. He had curly strawberry blonde hair and a black and white striped shirt that everyone said made look like a mime, but I thought it made him look like a monochrome Waldo. I always hated Adam, but if you asked me why, I couldn't give you an answer. Just seeing his face filled me with rage, like seeing Serenity's filled me with joy. He had known Serenity before I had, so I actually met him through her. I tolerate Adam because of Serenity, but if it were up to me, I would like to punch him in the head multiple times. So I was playing Cat's Eye 2 last night, and I got to the ogre fight. He crushed me thrice, so do you have any tips? Dimitri, you're the cat's eye master, Serenity said, pushing me forward a little. Well, first you're going to want to be at least level 45, but once you achieve that, the ogre is a lot like the Cyclops, except you can't target the eye, so that's one weakness gone. Luckily, it's still weak to electric attacks, so you spam lightning surge until the second phase, where you just cast dust clouds. It's pretty easy from there if you have the Moonblade equipped. I would have never thought dust cloud. Well, it lowers the enemies. The bell rang for block 1 to start. Oh, we should get to class, Serenity said as she began walking to the school building. Goodbye, Adam, I said slightly smugly as we made our way to the first class of the day. We sat down and the teacher began his lecture on the Boxer Rebellion. I was never interested in history. Why should I care what a bunch of dead guys did like a million years ago? I put my head on my desk, and before I knew it, Serenity was waking me up to go to lunch. I'd fallen asleep in class. No big deal, I could just get notes from Serenity tonight. We went down the hall and got our lunches out of our backpacks. That's a pretty elegant looking sandwich. That doesn't make much sense. How can a sandwich look elegant? Well, I guess your beauty just extends to the sandwich in your hand. She sighed. Look, this isn't working, Dimitri. What do you mean by that? She looked down. I just don't love you as much as I used to, she said as if rushed to not give herself time to think it over. Does that mean you're breaking up with me? Yes. Her eyes began to well up with tears. I don't understand. Is this about the sandwich? It's not about the sandwich. It's about a lot of things, and it's about almost nothing. But just this morning you told me you loved me. Was that a lie? Yes? No? I don't know. It's very complicated. But you can't break up with me. I need you. I can't live without you. I'll die without you. She burst into tears like a dam that had reached the breaking point and I was the drowned village below. I have to go. I'm sorry, Dimitri. She sobbed and ran off, leaving a trail of tears. She bumped into someone and apologized, then cried all the way to the bathroom. All of the joy and happiness and love that I felt before turned to sadness and malice and despair. It hurt worse with every beat of my broken heart.